these documents you refer to that we can look at, or the prosecution and judge can look at in immigration court, are these the Shepard documents that we normally hear about?
Well, Shepard, Shepard refers to, yes, the answer to that is yes. And the use calling them the Shepard documents refers again to a case that was a Supreme Court decision. It followed the Taylor case, and in it, which was the burglary case we talked about previously, and in the Shepard case, there was a modified categorical approach used, and it allowed it would include the charging document or the indictment, the plea, if there was, a plea colloquy or a plea transcript arising from a discussion with the judge in the criminal court, that would be admissible as part of the record to look at. Now, it's important when we talk about what are parts of the record that can be reviewed, it's important to remember what is not part of the record. And one thing that it's really important to be careful about is that the police report arising from the time the defendant was arrested, the police report is not admissible as part of the record unless it's used in the context of entering the plea before the criminal court. So, for example, if the judge admits the police report into evidence and then says, I'm finding that you were charged with XYZ, and as the police stated, you did these things, factually speaking, if that's admitted into the record, then the police report can be considered. But usually the police report is written up by someone who may not even be there during the criminal prosecution, someone who was just there at the point of arrest. And it may have nothing to do with what the prosecutor actually decided to charge.
Right.
And it also can be very bad in terms of what it appears to include for a defendant. So you don't want the police report to get in there. In other words, you don't want, for example, if we're talking about a weapons violation, you don't want a police report that says, I found a large carton in the defendant's home that had 10 automatic rifles and 5 handguns. That's not part of what the person is convicted of, unless the person was charged and convicted of that. And then that information would appear elsewhere in the record. So be careful about police reports. And oftentimes they're just plainly not accurate at all.